Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas, and today we're going to be looking at ordering fractions. Okay, hope you're well, and let's get started. So let's have a look at some fractions to start with then. So imagine you've got a question that says put these fractions in order. Now this is a pretty easy question, and the reason why is because they're all over the same number. Yeah, so I've got 5 over 17, 12 over 17, 2 over 17, 9 over 17, and 4 over 17. And because they're all over 17, because they're all in 17ths, you can just write them in their order from looking at the top numbers. So this is going to be 2 over 17, then 4 over 17, then 5 over 17, then 9 over 17, then 12 over 17. Easy peasy. Now what we want to do is we're going to get fractions where the denominators are different. So we need to think of a technique where we can get them all to be the same, and then they're going to be as easy to answer as this question. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we make denominators the same? Well, much like when we divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number to simplify a fraction, we can also go the other way by timesing up the multiplier and the denominator by the same number, and you're going to get an equivalent fraction. And so if you can find a common multiple of two fractions denominators, you know what number to aim for. So just a little bit of an example then. So I won't actually go through that. Let's go, can we go backwards a little bit? Okay, it's not letting me do that, but let's just talk through it. So we're taking 1/2 and 2/3. So the denominators are 2 and 3. So you want them to match. So you think of a common multiple, and the common multiple is 6. So you want to times, so if we think about 2, to get 2 to 6, we times it by 3. So we want to times the top and the bottom of 1 and 2 times 3. And so you're going to get 3 over 6. And then 2 over 3, you want to times the bottom number by 2 to get 6. So this is going to be 4 over 6. Sorry, they don't equal each other. And then from that, you can see which one is lower. So 3 over 6 is lower than 4 over 6. So that must mean 1/2 is lower than 2/3. All right, so let's just have a go at a couple of practice questions then. So the first question says, which is greater, 4/5 or 5/6? So again, we've got 5 and 6 at the bottom. So we want to figure out a common denominator. And an easy way to figure them out is just times them together. That always gives you a nice common denominator. It might not be the lowest, but it's an easy way to figure one out. So 5 times 6 is 30. So we can put both of these over 30. Okay, now 4 over 5, what have we times 5 by to get 30? Well, it's 5 times 6, so we want to times the top by 6 as well, and 4 times 6 is 24. So let me just write the equivalent fraction above it. So 4 over 5 is the same as 24 over 30. And then for the second one, 5 over 6, what have we times 6 by to get 30? Well, we've times it by 5. And then 5 times 5 is 25. So that is equivalent to 5 over 6. Okay, and then from this, we want to figure out which is greater. Well, obviously 25 is bigger than 24. So 5 over 6 is greater. Okay, and always remember to write down the original number in the question, not the one you've converted it to. Okay, so that's the answer to the first one. Number 2, which is smaller, 5/9 or 7/12? Okay, well, we can think of a common multiple. Now, you could do 9 times 12, which is 108, but there is also a lower common multiple, which is 36. Yeah, because 9 times 4 is 36, and 12 times 3 is 36. So let's put them both over 36. To get 9 to 36, we times it by 4, and we want to times 5 by 4, so 5 times 4 is 20. And from 12 to 36, we times by 3, so 7 times 3 is 21. And from that, we can see that 21 over 36 is bigger, but they're asking which is smaller. So we want 20 over 36, but always write the original fraction, which is 5 over 9, is smaller. Okay, Now number 3, this is more like a typical exam question you might get. It says put the fractions below in order of size, starting with the smallest. Now you've got 5 numbers here and you want to make them all over the same denominator. Now that sounds like a bit of a task, but they usually give you quite nice numbers. And the first thing I'm noticing is, have a little look at the highest number. So the highest number is 12. Let's just highlight that. So the highest number on the bottom is 12. And all of these other numbers go into 12. So that's really handy for us. So 5 over 12 then, we don't have to change. So we can keep that as 5 over 12. Let's change everything else over 12. So the first one, 1/2, well, we want to get 2 to 12. And to get to 2 to 12, you times by 6. So times the top by 6, 1 times 6 is 6. For this 3 over 4, we want to get from 4 to 12, so we times by 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9. Then for this a third, we want to times 3 by something to get 12, and that's going to be times 4. So we do 1 times 4, which is 4. And finally, we want to get from 6 to 12, so you just double it or times it by 2, and 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so now, once we've ordered them, well, once we've converted them all, so they've all got the same denominator, we can put them in order. And it's clear that this is, if we start with the smallest, that's the first one, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And like I said before, you want to write your answer in the original form that they gave you. So the first one, I'm not going to write 4 over 12, I'm going to write 1 over 3. Then the second one was 5 over 12. Then the third one was 6 over 12, but that is a half. Then the fourth one is 9 over 12, which is 3/4. And then the final one is 10 over 12, which is 5/6. So that is our answer. Okay, let's just have a go at a couple more worded questions. So number 1, Carlos, I think this is Carlos here, he wins 13/50ths of the Euro Millions jackpot, and Celia wins 1/4 of the jackpot. Who wins more and how much more? Okay, well, we've got 1 out of 4 and we've got 13 out of 50, so we want a common multiple of 4 and 50, so I'm thinking 100 might be the best number to go for, so we can put them both out of 100. Now to get from 50 to 100, I've timesed it by 2. So I want to times 13 by 2. So Carlos, let's put a C for Carlos. Carlos is getting 26 out of 100. And then for Celia, to get from 4 to 100, we want to times it by 25. I don't know why I did C for both of them. So let's do Carlos. Celia. Okay, so Celia wins 1/4, but we times that by 25. That's going to be 25 over 100. So who wins more? Well, it looks like Carlos wins more. And how much more? Well, he only wins 1/100th more, or 1% more, yeah, out of 100. Okay, number 2, Martina needs between 2/3 and 4/5 of a garlic clove in her Thai curry recipe for the perfect amount of garliciness, which I googled and is actually genuinely a word, garliciness. What fraction of a garlic clove could she put in? So she wants between 2/3 and 4/5. So again, we just want to write these out so they've got the same denominator. So 3 and 5, if I times them together, I get 15. So let's get them both over 15. So to get from 3 to 15, we times by 5, and 2 times 5 is 10. And to get from 5 to 15, we times by 3, and 4 times 5 is 12. So let's just recap what the question's asking us. We want between 2/3 and 4/5. So we want between 10/15 and 12/15. Well, that is just going to be 11/15. That is a fraction that she could put in. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. So if you want to put fractions in order, you make the denominators the same, and then it's a lot easier. But always remember to put your answer back in the original fractions that they gave you in the question. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with some more maths videos.